pirate ship in a muddy river. What is it going to be? I think this should be somewhere in Asia. That's really my hunch the whole time, even though everyone's white. I'm actually kind of thinking like, maybe like northern Albania now. I don't know, I'm really going to regret it if it's over here. What is going on, guys? It's Zigzag here, and welcome back to another Geoguessr video. Today we are playing my Playalong League, where we are up to leg number 4. So let's check out the top 50. I am down here in 18, which means I've moved up a little bit from last week. I was down in the low 20s last time. So here's the top 50. Yeah, thanks everyone for playing along. If you do want to play along, as usual, the links are in the description to play this week's seed. And there will be 2 seeds, one for NMPZ and one for the league. So let's head straight into the league, which is the first portion of the video, and today we are playing interesting photospheres in obscure countries. So not your typical league, this is a league comprised of my favorite maps, so it should be pretty interesting. Just before we get into the first location, I wanted to say, like, I have a lot of uni work this week, so probably a few fewer videos than normal, but hopefully I still get a few out. So anyhow, we got some very, very exciting videos coming up on the channel as well, I think you're going to like. But this is the first location, very dry. Feeling African to me off the bat, not sure though. So is that a bone or a stick? Probably a stick. Feeling almost volcanic. Not quite sure. This is a really interesting shade of like reddish brown that this mountain is made up of. And we actually have water over there to our south. So not exactly what I was expecting to see here, to be honest. Let's get straight into the map. So one thing I was thinking of was Ethiopia, but doesn't seem like Ethiopia is really going to be possible here, just given that we have the water to our south. Now, it's also possible, also it's over to the west as well, it's also possible that the compass is wrong and we are somewhere over here. But yeah, Ethiopia doesn't have any coastline either, so perhaps not. Could be on a lake here, could be northern Tanzania, Malawi. Not really sure where to click for this one, to be quite honest. Could be somewhere in the Pacific as well. Not really sure here. I will go here, just to be in the center of Africa here, but I'm really not confident. It should be somewhere mountainous, so let's see where it actually was. And this one was in Nicaragua, so it seems like this guy has actually managed to get the country, but what a tough location. Don't think I've had a Nicaragua around in a while, and yeah, we only get 3 points, so goes to show. And the next one is another photosphere, of course. We have thatched roofs. It's very green this time. Okay, this reminds me of a couple of rounds I had way up north in the Philippines, but no, these guys look a bit dark to be Filipino, so maybe we are in the no, it's either Caribbean or Pacific Islands. I'm thinking Pacific Islands more here. These guys kind of look islander, so let's think now. Could be like Fiji. I think these guys kind of look Fijian to me, if I had to say anything. So over to our east there, we have another island. This one should have like resorts on it as well, and the island in question should have like tall mountains on it. So we could be somewhere like this. This is actually quite possible. Although it doesn't really, no, it's not, because there would be a highway around that island, and this one does not have such a highway. Still, somewhere like this is also possible. Or if the compass is wrong, perhaps we were looking at this island over here. Let's see, could this be possible? Could be. Resorts over here. Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of options, but I wouldn't be surprised if we were somewhere in the vicinity of Fiji here. So let's go for it. Do we want to? I think so. I think so. And yeah, this was in Vanuatu, so at least a decent guess here. Ben Keller went over in Vanuatu, Port Vila, but not quite right. Still probably lost a few points there, but we are relatively close, so I'm happy with that. Next round, we have a flag. What's this one again? Is it the Seychelles flag? I think it might be the Seychelles flag. If I'm not mistaken. So let's take a look around to get any more clues. These guys look African, so that would fit. It looks fairly wealthy, and I'm pretty sure Seychelles is one of the wealthier African nations, unless I'm mistaken. These buildings are interesting, kind of older looking than one might expect. Almost looks like some Costa Rica rounds that you get on the Trekker there. But anyhow, I think Seychelles is up here. And yeah, it's actually looking correct with the like kind of mountain coverage and everything. And we should be near some ovals as well. So maybe we're here looking at Independence Avenue. Was that this road here maybe? Between the two, we should have a hill or something if we're looking over to the, I guess we'd, I'm not exactly sure if this is correct, to be honest. We could be elsewhere in the country. But given the fact that there is this hill, giant tortoise. Can we see a giant tortoise? Don't think we do. We see this big flagpole though, so I think where we have it is probably more likely to be correct, given that it says Independence Avenue, but we'll see. Let's see how close we are. And yeah, we're right close here. This is actually, it's Peace Park. So this is where I would have gone had it actually been correctly marked on the map, but there's no green. So interesting that there's no green. And that Ben Keller gets the right country, so he stays in the lead. Only 270 meters away there. This one's dead interesting. Look at this structure. Assuming this is man-made, yeah, it must be. Don't think any animal could make that, to be fair. Lots of white four-wheel drives here. All 6 cars are white. I know that they enforce white cars in Turkmenistan, or at least they did at one point, so we could be there. That is something that jumps out to me. Given that, what are the chances of all 6 of them being the same color, you know what I mean? But as for the landscape, it's not so obvious, is it? Also rocks on the ground, no tree in sight. It's definitely in the desert somewhere. How about the people? What do they look like? Kind of racially ambiguous, can't really tell at this distance anyhow. But yeah, thinking Central Asia or the Middle East here. I think Turkmenistan is actually a good shout, because I was going to say it kind of looks like Iran, and Iran and Turkmenistan do border each other here, so maybe just over the border in the desert. Let's look for something a little hilly somewhere. Okay, so yeah, it is hilly. It is definitely hilly. It's flat but hilly, if you know what I mean. So maybe just somewhere off this highway here is quite possible. Yeah, there are more like kind of hills to the south, so that would at least fit. I don't mind that. Let's go for it. And not at all, this was in Sudan. So a really impressive guess by Ben here. But yeah, this was over here, running along this river, along the River Nile. And yeah, really impressive guess indeed. But I don't think I ever would have gotten Sudan there. It's quite an obscure country, I would say. Not one I've had really many Geoguessr like rounds in full stop, I think. So moving on to the last round of this portion of the video, we've got a pirate ship in a muddy river. Yeah, we got some dudes here. Yeah, we got some life jackets, so they're definitely going to be in this river on boats. Maybe feeling more Asian here. Is that an Asian script? I'm not sure. This kind of reminds me of Bhutan a little bit. Although the mountains would be taller in Bhutan. Yeah, definitely feels like the type of river that would flow from a tall mountain, if you know what I'm saying. So maybe somewhere in kind of subcontinental Asia, Central Asia. This could also, I mean, given the amount of white people though, this could just be somewhere in Europe. Somewhere quite obscure in Europe. Kind of almost looks a little bit like Montenegro or something like that as well. So we've got to really think here. What do you guys think? I'm not really sure. Do we have any flag or anything? No? It's the pirate. This is very interesting architecture. Like, it's not obvious to me at all. These mountains, man. What is it going to be? I think this should be somewhere in Asia. That's really my hunch the whole time, even though everyone's white. This could be Spain. This could be over here. This could even be over here somewhere. No. With this bridge, it should... Huh? I'm actually kind of thinking, like, maybe like northern Albania now. I don't know. I'm really going to regret it if it's over here. And okay, that's actually kind of a better result, because if we went over here, we would have had less points. But this was in Turkey. Oh no, this was in Georgia, actually. So yeah, another really obscure place. And I've just realized I shouldn't have been guessing countries that have coverage, because I think this is only in obscure countries. So there you go, Georgia, it was. And wow, Ben has had a massive game here. Let's check out what his score was, because he actually got all of the countries right. That is incredible. 23,000. He's played the game of his life. Ben Keller. Take a bow, my friend. So let's take a look at how everyone did here. We will highlight the top 10 for sure, and maybe the top 15, I want to say. So let's see everyone else. We are going to be way down here, unfortunately. Yeah, it seems like other people getting that last round a bit better than I did. We're number 53 here, and it was actually round 1 that we also missed out on as well. So let's see how many people played. Over 100 here, so thank you everyone for playing, 105 people. And so let's see how everyone did. As for the Nicaragua, everyone in the top 15 seems to have gotten pretty close. We had a couple of Africa guesses as well, though. So definitely a tough round on round 1. As for round 2, it took us to Vanuatu, didn't it? And seems like 3 people got Vanuatu, a number of people in Fiji. Seems like Fiji was the more common of the guesses. And yeah, even some in the Solomon Islands. I like that guess. Definitely logical as well. As for round 3, took us to the Seychelles, and everyone got it correct because most likely everyone in the top 15 has pretty good flag knowledge. Round 4 was the Sudan, and yeah, it seems like a lot of people actually got Africa, and it's really where I let myself down going Turkmenistan. And then, of course, this Turkey was an incredible guess by Ben Keller there, really incredible. And a number of people getting in Europe, and then in southern Russia and Georgia. Actually, I wonder how people got Georgia. Perhaps the name in the bottom right indicated that it might be Georgian, but I had the name turned off, so that is the reason why I wasn't able to get it, or maybe it was the reason. Not sure. But anyway, it seems like, yeah, Ben Keller really smoked the competition here. Real smoking. So, very impressive stuff. And I say we head into the second seed here. A diverse world, 1 minute per round. And let us get into things here. NMPZ. So, you got to... you guys were linked this one in last video. So, let's see if I can match up to how you guys did. We got Brazilian poles here. Very green. That's very green. Feeling like outskirts of Amazon here. Maybe Para? I think Para is not a bad shout here. Yeah, I think something like that is honestly where my heart is lying, so I'm going to go for it. And yeah, we were not in Para, but very close indeed. This one was in Tocantins. And it seems like we were, yeah, not quite in the top there, but almost. Scraping the top. Next one is interesting. We got some poles here. Quite a dry looking place, perhaps Serbia, perhaps Italy, perhaps somewhere else in Eastern Europe. It's hilly, so that is an interesting thing. Serbia is a bit hillier to the south, but it's definitely quite dry, so also Romania a possibility here. Not wholly poles though, so southern Slovakia seems kind of unlikely. Croatia's possible here. I do consider Croatia a distinct possibility. I might actually go Croatia here. Do we have... Yeah, we kind of have enough hills here to go Croatia. And my logic is that if it ends up being Italy, we're a bit closer. And the architecture here, this house over here kind of looks a bit Italian, but also kind of Croatian as well. So let's see if I'm right. And this was Italian, so yeah, quite a rough guess there. Seems like most people, yeah, in the top would have been getting nice scores. Unfortunately, I convinced myself out of it. Guess the next one, Generation 4 footage, I think. This one should be in Czech Republic. Despite the fact this is exposed brick, it's like a Czech style of roofing, I think. And the fact that it's a round pole would also corroborate that theory. Other possibilities, this could be back in Italy again, to be fair. And it could be... Maybe it's like it could be a weird Netherlands or Denmark as well, but feeling pretty confident on the Czech here. Let's go southern. Let's go right here. And no, this was France. Okay, so yeah, that makes sense. I mean, to see exposed brick this far south in France is a little bit surprising, perhaps. But seems like, yeah, seems like people did a good job of getting that. Interesting round. This one's Kenya. Fairly dry. Got a big house here. The big house might make me think we're just somewhere in Nairobi. I think Nairobi would probably be a pretty safe bet here. Estate? We could be in like kind of like, yeah, in one of these richer houses, in one of these richer places over here. I wouldn't even be surprised. Well, it is a dirt road though, so that is making me reconsider this. We'd probably have to be further out of the city in order to be in a dirt road. So maybe somewhere over here. But then again, this car also travels to different parts of the country as well. So maybe we are in one of these bigger cities over here as well. I'm just going to go for Nairobi. I think if I'm going to get back into the top, I have to get a good guess here. So let's go for it. And yes, this was a good guess indeed. My logic was correct. We needed to be further out of the city. We're actually over here in the Shade Zone. Sounds really nice, honestly. I think that's a great name for a suburb, Shade Zone. We're in Ngong, and there we're in the Ngong Hills Forest Reserve. So 11 kilometers away. Seems like many people got decent scores, but mine was better. Mine was better, guys. Okay, so last round here. That seems to be a French sign. That appears to be a French sign. And if it's France, it should be further north, I think. Just this style of like doing the sign and then like a little white explanation. I think it's quite a French thing to do. Should be further north, I think. Let's say we are in, in the regional park of Lorraine. I think that's a decent guess. Feels further north, kind of almost feels Baltic or something, if you feel me. So that's why I'm going north here. Could even be further north, to be fair. But that's what I'm going to go for. And okay, so a good guess to end it off. 20,000. Happy to get above 20,000 on NMPZ. Always a good result. So let's see the game breakdown and see how we fared compared to you guys. Okay, so I was actually number 7 here. Pretty pleased with that. Seems like Poisoned coming out on top here. So let's check out the top 15 as usual. And let us see how everyone else did as well. So we ended up with a grand total of 54 people playing. Thank you very much everyone who did. And let us see, up the top here, how we did. So round 1, the real clue there was the Brazilian pole. And I was one of the closest people, so definitely pleased with my guess there. Seems like people were mostly spread out to the south. I was one of the only people who went north of the actual location. Only one of 3 who went north of the actual location. Always interesting to see things like that. The next round took us to Italy, and this is where I dropped my points. If I had have gotten Italy, I think I well could have been... I think I got 3,000 points for that round, right? So, yeah, I well could have been near the top. Maybe skirting the top 3 here, but unfortunately wasn't to be. Just an equal guess there would have been quite good. Then we had the 2 France rounds. The one of them I was over in Czechia for. That's another reason I only came down in 7th. The other, I got correct, but was still a little bit far away. And so, that brings us to the end, just the Kenya guess, where I was indeed the closest. So there you go, that's at least something. I was the closest out of 15 people just for the Nairobi. Gotta feel happy about that. And that is it. Wait, one more thing. Let's see the C that we had last time. So from last video, this was the NMPZ. And look, I actually managed to come 4th in this one. So it seems like my NMPZ skills have been going well. And we'll just give a quick flash up of everyone who played here. Here are the top 50, and we had 61 people playing that week. Christian, I noticed, is bottom in both, but don't worry, Christian. Keep playing. You'll get better. Don't worry, my friend. And here we go. It was the Thailand. So it seems like most people getting Thailand there. The Philippines was also decent. Where did I go for that, though? I can't actually... Did I select myself? So where was I going for the Philippines there? Seems like I... got it incorrect, or maybe my guess is just covered by someone else's. Oh, there it is. Yes. As for the Colombia, I was a bit far north here. Most people getting a little bit better than I did. The South Africa, everyone was rather close, was in kind of that Johannesburg region. And the Spain one, everyone was fairly close as well. So that is pretty much it for the video. Thank you very much all for watching. I'm gonna get a haircut soon. I keep on having to put this out of my face. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. New play-alongs every week. Play links in the description. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in a video very soon. Catch you later.